Good afternoon and welcome to the Windsor Star's Net News at noon. Well, folks, the cleanup continues in Leamington, where a state of emergency was declared Sunday when an F1 tornado cut through town, leaving a path of destruction and causing millions of dollars in damages. Miraculously, nobody was killed and nobody was seriously injured.
The tornado traveled about 300 to 400 meters through town, causing damage to an area of some 2 kilometers. Much of the damage was centered on the town's Seacliff Park and Municipal Marina. Damage was also done to area greenhouse operations, which drives the local economy.
Exactly. We have a double truck, folks. That's 2 pages in today's paper with some huge, large, compelling photographs. We have multiple photo galleries online. Veteran photographer Dan Janice was on the scene yesterday, said it looked like a war zone. He's never seen anything like it. We're on the scene again today, and we're going to continue providing you the sort of in-depth coverage that only the Star can provide.
The latest from Leamington came in a news release this morning. Essex Powerline says that service should be restored to most of their customers by noon today. Access is still restricted to the hard-hit areas, particularly around Seacliff Park, and the public is being asked to steer clear of downed power lines. As well, the municipality is not seeking volunteers and donations.
Okay, folks, and the cleanup continues in Windsor, where hundreds of East End residents woke up Sunday morning with water sloshing around their basements, the result of a severe torrential downpour that overwhelmed the city's water system, dropping an estimated 45 millimeters of rain within 6 hours late Saturday and early Sunday. Call 311 if you got a flooded basement. Also share your stories and your photos with us. Send them to tips@thestar.canwest.com or www.windsorstar.com/tips.
Art in the Park, or Arc in the Park as organizers are calling it, was canceled Sunday because of flooding, but organizers remain upbeat. Event chair Sherry Cunningham says a record 13,000 people turned out on Saturday to peruse wares from 275 vendors from Ontario and Quebec, up from 200 last year.
Okay, folks, in another news, it didn't take long, but a high-risk offender in Harrow, Robert Joseph Van Brackle, police sent out an advisory on him on the weekend. He's been picked up again. He's going to have a bail hearing today. The Star is there. In Chrysler, they're recalling some 600,000 vehicles involving 5 models in the U.S., including minivans, the Grand Caravan, and the Chrysler Town & Country.
The Red Bull Air Race was a smashing success despite the weekend downpours, with organizers estimating that more than 100,000 spectators lined both sides of the river Sunday, while Saturday's qualifying runs drew some 50,000 spectators. Millions more will watch the event on television. Hans Arch of Austria won the event, his 3rd consecutive victory.
Okay, folks, after the tornado, here now is Carys Mills. Come on in. She's an intern here. She's doing some fantastic work, and she was on the scene. Boom, tell us how it all went down. You wake up early, what happened?
Yeah, I was woken up by the photo editor, not the photo editor, the photo intern, who got a message from his editor saying that there's a tornado in Leamington. So that was about 6 in the morning. We were on the road by 6:15, and we got there at about 7. And when we got there, the only way I can really describe it is very surreal. I think that most of the residents were really in shock, just wandering around. A lot of them had been told not to stay in their houses until they were told they were safe. So there were a lot of people in their pajamas, riding their bikes, just with cameras and just looking at their neighbors' houses to see how they were doing. And it was just a mess, particularly on Erie Street. There were just trees everywhere and down power lines and hydro poles. It was just like a maze to try to get through.
Now, I mean, and I think you guys got there really before police. They closed down the roads, this and that. It was still sort of unfolding and breaking when you were there.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the crews that were helping to clean up the trees and the hydro lines there were a few there, and there were, I actually saw some families that were arriving there to try and help their families who maybe were stuck in houses or behind certain roads where there was a lot of wreckage, maybe like older families, things like that. Later on, the police did close down some of the areas with the most destruction to try to get onlookers to not to go down there because they said it wasn't safe. So those were places like Erie Street South and Seacliff Drive was the biggest one, and one of the ones that I think remained closed for most of the afternoon.
And what would you say the mood of the residents was like?
For most of yesterday, I was surprised by how happy most people seemed. I think they were just happy that there weren't any major casualties that anyone's aware of yet, and everyone was just feeling lucky. And like I said, I think they're in shock, and it was a Sunday, so all they could really do was try to put in calls to their insurers for home insurance and things like that, but there's just only so much they could do yesterday.
Okay, and folks, they should be happy to be alive because a twister in Ohio Sunday, I mean, that claimed 7 lives. So it is a miracle everyone's alive. And tonight, folks, City Council live chat. Make sure you check it out. Thanks, guys, online and on your porch. We are the Windsor Star.